Hello everyone, I will be recording my presentation on Zoom today. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Give me one moment here. All right, I created my project based on water potability. My name is Nicolette Engel and I'm a rising junior majoring in computer science. The purpose of my project is to spread awareness to problems going on around the world right now. And my specific problem that I was focusing on is water quality throughout different areas, because having access to clean water is an essential part of life. And I wanted to bring awareness to the amount of people that don't have access to clean water and the discrepancies between life, like if you do have clean water and if you don't. So water potability is a measure of how clean your water is and if it's safe for drinking. So potable water is water that has been cleaned. It could come from places like the surface, like a puddle or a well, or it can also come from underground sources like a mountain spring. And it is a measure of how safe it is to be drank. So potable water is water that has been treated and is considered to be completely safe for people to drink. I'm going to begin a walkthrough through my code. Give me one moment as I switch my screen. All right, here's a view of my code in Jupyter Notebook. So as you can see, the title of the project is determining water quality and potability. And this notebook was created to show different experiments that displayed the different qualities of water throughout different areas based on where the database pulled information from. So as you can see, I began by importing different libraries that I could need. And this is the beginning of the database. You are able to see all of the different pieces of data that are stored within this database. So some things to note are potability over here in the far right-hand column. And if it is a 0, that means that the water is not considered potable, so it is not safe for drinking. If the water is safe for drinking, then this potability would be a 1, which would be true, it's safe for drinking. And then as you can also see here, there are some missing data pieces even within the first couple of rows. And I noticed that throughout this whole database, there were missing pieces of information. And that could be because there wasn't enough information collected, or some places just didn't store it properly. And I needed to figure out a way to handle these empty spaces because I wasn't sure how to go through the code without filling them in. So basically what I decided to do was create this function called populate empty, and it takes the empty spaces and it averages out everything that was in that column. So for example, this sulfate, these first two rows, sorry, the first row and the second row are null and they have no values in them. So I replaced the values that were stored here with an average of every value stored in this entire column. So basically to deal with the empty spots, I would just average out everything that was in that whole column. So all the sulfates, and then I would replace it in right there. And then as you can see down here, this is more of my code. So I did a k-neighbor classifier along with a logistic regression. And I chose to do these two because they were the ones that I was most familiar with and most comfortable doing. And it was also like two of the most common things that other people have used on their databases. So there were other examples of different things, but these were the two that I decided to go with because I felt like 2 was what was manageable for me. And here is, oh, sorry, let me go back one moment. So For my calculations, the K-neighbor classifier was 0.7, and then the logistic regression was 0.6. So it's slightly off, but it's still significant enough to be a difference. And this is the chart that I generated that compares the difference between the two. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, let me know. And thank you for listening. I'm going to end the recording now.